and welcome back to the Work You Love webinar. This is a bonus session, and I just wanted to comment briefly on something that I glanced over last time in the prior chapter, and it's this slide right here, to determine what you want in life and act on it. Knowing what you want is so important. There's another book series called Crucial Conversations, and it talks about mastering your stories, talks about knowing exactly what you want out of every human interaction, and that ensures that you're going to be a lot more on the ball in terms of having a much better chance of getting what you want. Here's another reason why this is so important. For those of you who are really everyone's ambitious. If you're not ambitious, you wouldn't be on this webinar looking at this content. But I did want to put a little point that I've found in my life. I'm pretty ambitious. I've done some pretty interesting things, and so is Tim. I mean, both of us have really accomplished a lot, and we're starting to realize in life that life is so much more important about being who you are instead of what you do. However, there's a time and a place to do a lot, and there's a time and a place to really work very hard and to take risks. And whenever you take a risk, sometimes it works out great, sometimes it really doesn't work out as well. And you know what? The good thing, and I think the thing that Susan Jeffers would argue is, you know what? Even if you made a risk and it didn't turn out well, then you know what? Pick yourself off, go forward, and it can be a very good thing for you. Here's the thing that I really wanted to touch on here. Stop waiting, this middle line. Stop waiting for someone to give you what you want. And here's, in the last few years of my life, and I've done a number of things in business, in academia, in nonprofit organizations, and things like that. The thing that you want to watch out for is if you don't know what you want and you don't know what the conditions are, the environment, the way that you work best, then I'll just make an example. Let's say you're a plumber and there's a plumbers organization that's volunteer, and you're just getting started, and I know there are unions, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to just talk about a hypothetical plumber organization. And let's say that they have a volunteer program where they have novice plumbers like you, and they put you out and you do little service calls in the community for free, and that's great. Well, the point is, stop waiting for someone to give it to you. If you have a definite goal and a definite time parameter for your service that you're giving for free, in this little silly example, silly sounding example, if you know what you want and how you want to provide of your free time and resources that are very valuable, then it's probably going to work out very well for you because you stay true to your parameters. And then if somebody says, you know what, this person over here on this area of town, has a job and we want to send you over there, if you've thought about that in advance, you've said, hey, that's a really dangerous area of town, or for whatever reason you don't want to go there, then you can, have control over what you do. Or if you say, you know what, I'm going to be really involved in this organization for about, let's say 90 days, and I'm going to build up a track record, and I'm going to get testimonials that I'm a good plumber and all of these things. If you do that, then that'll keep you from just kind of lollygagging around as a volunteer in an organization for 1, 2, 3 years doing free work, when maybe you only wanted to do free work or needed to do free work for 60 or 90 days. The reason that I'm talking about this is because I've actually led volunteer organizations. I've done some leadership things. I've taught college courses. I've done a number of things where I've personally sacrificed a lot more than I wanted to because I didn't have my parameters listed out specifically in advance. I've worked in situations where I had managers or supervisors or what have you, and because I didn't clarify what conditions I was willing to endure and work out for and for how long, I ended up staying in environments that were not matched to my strengths as well as they could have been, and I stayed longer than I needed to, And it ended up hurting me in some cases on the inside and burning me out or hurting my feelings or things like that. And certainly I'm pretty tough and you can hurt my feelings and all of that, but it's just day after day after day. I'm sure Tim knows as well. I know very well what it's like to go day after day after day and feel stuck in a situation that is not life-giving, but kind of draining. And even you get to a place where things, you wonder even if you can go another month or maybe even another week. So Tim and I don't want you to be anywhere near that place. We want to empower you, and we just want to encourage you with this point. Determine what you want in life, act on it, stop waiting for somebody else to give something to you. A lot of times if you're working with someone and you look up to them and they're kind of a go-getter and they can get things started, for you to be able to handle and do some of the detail work, that's wonderful. But I want to encourage you to make sure that it's also in your interest over time, because a lot of times, sometimes maybe people over-delegate to you, you know, and then it looks like we come up short. So there are all kinds of little hazards. And you know what? If you go through that and you feel like you've been overburdened and all of that, dust yourself off, create an exit strategy, take the hard work that you did, even if you failed to reach the level that maybe someone else set for you, and maybe, you know, you hit this level, and you know what, maybe the default level would have been here. So you have this to celebrate, and take that with you into your next situation, put it on your resume, put the metrics on there, measure, prove, demonstrate what you've done for people. So anyway, this is a little bit of an extra long bonus content, but this point, if you're going to give me one point to make, this is an important one, just because of my my own path that I've been on, and I can't say enough. Even if you've been burned out in the past, even if you've had conflicts in working and had difficult environments, you know what? It can work out for good as you look, self-assess, look inward like we learned from the 48 Days material, and then rise above and use that to help and benefit other people. So this is a little bit of bonus content. Tim had to run a little bit earlier. He's working hard and doing some other things, and I'll let him do a little solo bonus content in the future, hopefully, because he's got great things to say. We'll see you on Chapter 5